Welcome back. Breaking news. The May month ADP number just hitting the wires. The private sector adding 178,000 jobs. That was below the consensus estimate of 190,000 jobs created. As you can see, markets are holding up. They're still up 140 points on the Dow Industrials. But this number is a bit weaker than expected at 178,000 jobs created in the month of May. Joining us right now, Oxbow Advisors Managing Partner Ted Oakley. Ted, good to see you this morning. Your take on this number?
Well, Maria, I think what happens now, it's different than 8 or 9 years ago when you're looking for job creation. What's happening now is you've got this wage problem. You don't have anybody to go to work. You can't create jobs if you don't have anybody there, and so you're in sort of a wage war for good people now. That's the problem.
Where is the growth in your view?
Well, if you look at the last few months, the number just came out, so I haven't seen the exact details here. But the last few months, you've had manufacturing not very high, mostly in companies 100 to 300 people, maybe 400, and leisure's been down somewhat. So I suspect it probably would go the same way.
Yeah, the estimate was 190,000, and this actually comes in a little below expectations, Mitch.
I'm trying to figure out sort of what the rest of the year looks like, because we had the stimulus of tax reform. We've got the economy growing. Do you think this is going to be the month after month sort of disappointing jobs numbers, especially going into the midterm elections? That could be troublesome for the incumbents.
Well, I think so. I mean, I wouldn't look for any robust growth here. I mean, we haven't had anything out of line the last 4 or 5 months. So I'll be surprised if you get anything really that's that's going to be really out of line for what we're looking for on the upside. I suspect it'll stay going through the summer about the same, more than likely.
But 3.9% unemployment, where there is, Maria, this is a point that she has hit over and over and over again, that there's a skills gap in this country. So but that does suggest an extremely healthy economy with the unemployment rate that low.
It does, except it's a demographic thing as much as anything, because if you look at people with a college education and higher, for example, their unemployment rate is extremely low. And so the gap is what the problem is. We don't have people to fill above that level. You have to go back, I think, to the 60s to see a period where we stayed this low for this long. So I suppose we'll have to see going forward. But to me, it's a question of demographics as much as anything right now. You know, automation, robotics, all that stuff has a big part of this whole thing right now.
One thing I'll just point out with this ADP miss, with it coming up short of expectations by 12,000 jobs, Charlie Brady sent out some the estimates for the Friday payrolls, government jobs report, and there was already a slight reduction in the estimate for private payrolls there. We're expecting 183,000 jobs added in the private sector, overall 188,000 non-farm jobs. So again, you already had a little bit of a pullback by economists even before this ADP report came out. So you might not have a broader impact on the big Friday jobs report.
And that's typically a market mover. This number has not moved markets very much. But Ted, thank you. Thank you very much for waiting there. Ted Oakley joining us, and join us on Friday.